Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening. It's the one and only Fox and Matt Brad. How we doing, gentlemen?
Evening, Ox. Evening, Brad.
Oh, can I say a big good evening to you two guys? Huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, Bridget? Here you're a little birdie tells me you've got fans now. Is this true?
Ah, fans. I'll tell you what it is. One of your neighbours, I was sitting in the subway and he'd heard my voice and he says, "Are you on the radio?" You know, and I showed him my badge and he says, "Aye, you know, Rangers Radio." And he says, "I recognise your voice." He lives over in the Glasgow Harbour area. You know that Glasgow Harbour?
Oh, yes.
He lives there. So I kind of put my nose up and said, "I don't know whether I should speak to you or not."
Very posh.
But no, he said it.
He lives
Big shout out to everyone. Sorry?
He lives in the old granary.
He lives in the old granary, aye. So Sandy and his wife, gave them a big shout out last night. Really nice people, really nice.
You never know. Good to see you Sunday, mate.
Ah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You're looking all right, given the situation you've been in, by the way, I may say. Still ugly, but you're looking all right.
That'll no change. How about you, folks, mate?
Getting by, mate, getting by.
By the way, that was heavy on Saturday. I waited for you, but I had to drink your drink, mate, since you let me down.
Well, I wasn't well, I couldn't help it. I actually had a wee treat for you. I know we'd been invited to wee Wally Johnson's 72nd birthday party in the Wee Rangers Club, and I couldn't make it, mate.
Well, I was waiting for you, as you know, and I had a nice fridge magnet, but I'll bring it up between Christmas and New Year, mate.
Right, thank you.
A surprise. It was a nice one, not that one that Bridge got you.
Oh, the see-through one.
The see-through one, aye. You're a shocker, Fox, an absolute shocker.
Anyway, well, again, it seems really as if we repeat ourselves, but Bridge, these big matches, they just keep coming.
Wow, you know, what can we say? I've been saying it since the start of the season. Every single game is nothing short of massive for us now. Just massive. And you know, the further into the season it goes, it appears to get even more massive, you know. Of course it isn't, but it appears that way. I think it was a huge hurdle we got over there on Sunday there, Ox, there. A huge hurdle. And that, you know...
First 20 minutes like Barcelona for the next 70, we were like a dog and duck, you know.
Yeah, we just couldn't break them down. We seemed to lose a bit of spirit and, you know...
It was bad decision making for me, mate. It wasn't bad play, just... Passes were got the wrong passes, crossing it when they should have passed it, passing it when they should have crossed it, and shooting when they shouldn't have shot. Everything was wrong. It just looked a wee bit tired, a wee bit flat after the start, because at the start they got the traps like nobody's business and should have been 2, 3 or maybe 4 up, you know.
Yeah, I agreed 100%.
And then after about half an hour, it just went flat, mate, and that was it. Anyway, we're going to look forward, no back, and a real big game on tomorrow night, Fox. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it, very much so. What we need to do tomorrow night is show a bit of character and get right in amongst this mob and give them a doing.
Hopefully we can score 5 goals again, Bridger. Easter Road.
Yeah, as long as hopefully our defence are a lot better than we were when we played them at the end of last season. 5 each, my God. But I did notice, I said last night, or I think I said anyway last night, I did notice that there was no extra celebrations by the wee Lurgan Bigot when they won. They scored their second goal, or his team scored their second goal against the Tims on Sunday.
I think he'd been a bit unfair, mate. I think he was just celebrating the anniversary of Helicopter Sunday that day, mate.
Nice one.
You know, it was Easter Road. You've done a helicopter. And you've got to watch when people have got mental health issues. That is a shame, you know.
But I'll tell you what, if it's a really close game and they get an equaliser against us in the last minute, I think he would do the same again. I really believe it sincerely. That's just his makeup, just what he is. He can't stop it.
Care.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get that pleasure, mate.
Well, of course not. All I'm saying is that as soon as he did it the last time, the whole of the Scottish media were in there supporting him. He's all right. It was just a bit of fun, and that. What's the matter with you? if you're taking the fun out of the game, that's so we are. So we are.
Anyway, team, Morelos is back. That's a good thing for us, Foxer.
Great thing back. We've certainly missed him. I think he could have maybe have got himself in the end of a couple of the chances we created on Sunday. And I hope the wee rest has done him good. His temperament will need to be held in check. We need to finish this game with 11 men on the park. And he can't let us down tomorrow.
If he comes in for Lafferty as well as the outside left position, the way we play, is that where the issue will lie for you? Who'll play there? There's a lot of people picking themselves at the moment. I think the back four with Boren coming back, that'll be what it was. And then I think the midfield three will stay as they were, in my opinion. That's what I think he'll do. Candias will play when it's whether Gresder or Middleton. For me, Gresder. Young Glenn's just learning his trade, needs to take a step back and then hopefully take two forward. Bridgman?
Yeah, 100% agree. We were saying that last night. All these guys are good players. He's a smashing young player. There are times they seem to get in each other's way, shall we say. And, he's not even doing the block that's required. When, sometimes when you're out in the wing and the fullback's coming down, you sort of go and block out the other player or force him to move and think something else to allow whomever it is that's coming down the wing to go past you. It doesn't appear to even doing that. A lot of the times you see him just standing there and waiting. That's just young. He's just young and inexperienced. But he's a smashing wee player, there's no doubt about that. I'm just looking forward to seeing him in a couple of months' time when he's really up for all the games. It'll be fantastic to see. Just fantastic.
Anyway, if people want to join us, what's the number, Fox?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. And what can they talk about, Bridgman?
They can talk about anything they want as long as it's about the famous Glasgow Rangers.
All right, well, unless it's Rudy. Rudy's our culinary expert.
Oh, well, we need some input from Rudy on the food side.
You've also got...
Oh, the painter decorator?
No. Well, he's our numbers and colours expert. He's also our vodka expert. So everybody's got a job today.
We've all got a job. That's right.
Aye. We've been joined by Rudy. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, gentlemen. How are we doing, Bridge? Fox?
How you doing, Rudy?
Aye,
Rudy, you need to tell us what you had for dinner tonight, please.
Oh, I had some lovely pork steaks tonight, Bridge.
Pork steaks?
Pork steak, and I had sautéed potatoes. That's fried potatoes to New York's.
Oh, is that fried potatoes?
I wouldn't have thought they'd be very good to you. They're usually quite small, Rudy.
Oh, no, I had a big pile of them, though, you know what I mean? Aye, lovely.
Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers,
Bridge. You're right.
Love it. Just love it.
He's on the man. Building up to the big day, mate. He has to get a new belt.
It's been let out several times, Ox. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Let it.
Aye, good on you. Nothing wrong with enjoying your grub. What's your thoughts on how the team are, Rudy, and your thoughts about tomorrow night?
I was about at the weekend. I know you've already covered it, but the weekend, and I was a wee bit frustrated because I thought there was some really good performances at the weekend. And I think we were slightly let down a wee bit with the quality in the final third of the park, As for tomorrow night, I think it's going to be a cracker. I just think they've had a wee bit of form coming up to play us a couple of games, I don't know, I thought they performed really well. I only saw the highlights of them at the weekend against the dark side. I thought they played really well, but I tell you what they did, they showed how to beat them. That's what they did. They got tore in round about them. And it's obvious to me everybody that plays them has got in round about them and stopped them from playing. But anyway, that'll come at a later date for us. But as far as tomorrow night goes, I think it's going to be a cracker. I think they've had a wee bit of form. I think they've won their last couple of games. Their performance at the weekend there looked really good. I thought some of our players at the weekend played pretty well. Ryan Jack, for me, I thought was excellent. I thought Gresder had a good game. Barisic has just got an absolute wand of a left foot for me.
I thought they two were excellent again in the first half, Rudy. Excellent, Barisic.
They certainly were. I would agree with that. And maybe now, that we've got these two, if we could keep both of them fit, there's our left side of the park for me, Ox. You know, it'd be the first two names for that left side in the team sheet for me. If they two boys can sit, I mean, they've played together before. They know each other.
Steven Gerrard's own players, mate. He's signed them, wanted them.
That's right, and they've played together, Ox. You know, and it looks like a good choice. I mean, we knew Barisic was a good player. You know, just unfortunately got that injury when we brought Grezda in. He was unfit. He hadn't played much football because was it a knee injury or an ankle or something? Anyway, whatever. Ankle, right. So he'd been out for a while, you know, hadn't played much football. I think the more the season goes on, and these two, if you can keep these two boys fit on the left side of the park, I think there's your left side of the park for me, Ox. Two really good players, you know each other really well. Barisic, left foot, is just an absolute wonder, as I said, you know. So I thought there was some really good performances at the weekend, you know, and I just thought in the final third we lacked that wee bit of quality. I kind of felt sorry for Big Lafferty, if I have to be honest, because he had a few chances. He just couldn't seem to put the ball in the back of the net.
Dreadful, Rudy. His touch is
dreadful. I thought that header, you know, in the
if he'd have scored in the first minute, if he scores in the first minute, his game can be so different. But that's the difference. I
think if he scores in the first minute, Ox, he goes on to get maybe a couple at least, maybe even three. You know, I think he's lacking that goal just now that would maybe help boost his confidence a wee bit. You know. But we've got Alfredo back for tomorrow night, which is a good thing. But I think it was, I heard Fox maybe say there that Alfredo's got to keep his nut tomorrow night, because I'll tell you what, every dirty trick in the book, Ox will be pulled on tomorrow.
See what I mean about our experts? Rudy comes in, he takes the left-footed side of the teammate, and that's all. He's an expert in left footers. That's because of all his school friends, Bridge. We've also been joined by JFK.
Evening, guys.
Can we get some advice on house painting from JFK, please?
How's the work going on?
The painting's finished, but never use a ladder that's not got enough steps on.
There you go. if you could write that in, and write that in the lobby, mate, so everybody sees it.
Did you fall?
No, that's all.
Did you slip?
Well, I kind of did, aye.
Jimmy.
There's a new addition to the hallway. It's my fingers crawling down the wall. Scratches.
You say there's that new Artex in your...
Artex. Talking about arse.
Jimmy.
Collapsed. Oh.
I just love it. That's absolutely brilliant, Jim. What an update. Superb.
You know that, the string doesn't hold the ladders the same as it used to. Anyway, Bridge, Rudy, Fox, how you all doing, guys?
Yourself?
I didn't go to the game on Sunday. Butterbean had my tickets, and I was feeling a bit under the weather. Something I think I ate. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting to that time in my life that I shouldn't be up a ladder painting. But I'm brand new, mate. I'm brand new. I watched the game on Sunday, and like Rudy, I was pleased with a lot of the things I saw on Sunday. My three men in a match, if I could pick one, Grezda, Barisic and Jack, same as what Rudy said there. I thought Grezda and Barisic on the day were immense, as was Jack. Unfortunately, Big laugh. If I put that one in the net in the first minute, then it might have been a different game. But for me, he didn't do enough. I'm glad that Fred's back tomorrow. They did enough for me to warrant I'm being a permanent replacement for Fred, depending on what happens in January. I was pleased. I just think that we just didn't have the killer touch in the last bit of the part, Oxford, and that was rubbish to watch at times in that aspect. But
you've got to go out and get the second goal, mate. You've got to go out and drive it. No, I mean,
yeah.
You used to play football and somebody would say it's nothing each.
But that's all.
And we seen the game out and we done it pretty comfortably. They threw on a big ball and just humped the ball apart for the last couple of minutes. They'd won quarter of a chance in the whole game.
Totally.
And then, but we've got to go to get the second goal to try and make them come out. If they come out at all, then it's going to be like Motherwell 4, 5, 6, 7, mate.
Well, I was talking to my boy Graham the day, and what we were saying is, I think if Alfredo had been on the park, I think we'd have probably got another 2 or 3 goals at least. And that's where the gaffers, and what Bridge and Rudy were saying there, he needs to be careful. Fox is saying it now. He needs to be careful tomorrow. This is a minefield that's getting into tomorrow, and we need him on the park every game, guys. I'm preaching it to converted here, I know, because we can't be having him missing games. You know, he's got to take everything that's thrown at him or kicked at him or punched at him tomorrow night and get back up. And the best thing to do is have a laugh in their face. And, you know, he can make his wee remarks.
Best thing is they put the ball in the net.
Yeah. Aye, I know that, Oxy, but I'm saying is that he just needs to, you know, if he's not happy with the challenge, walk away from the referee and stop clapping the horns in front of the referee. You know, great decision. I mean, I've said here before, we need Fred on the park every single game, especially now, especially against the Spoonburners tomorrow night, because they will do everything they can. And we know that the Lego Muncher will be telling his players that's the man to target tonight. And we need Fred to be on his game, because honestly, Lafferty's not the answer when Fred's missing. And we need him there.
It's not looking that way. It's not looking that way, but we look as if we're a wee bit light up front. And by the way, this is not a criticism of the recruitment. I think at the time of the summer we maybe done the right thing, Bridgeman, and it's no worked out for Big Laugh at the moment. But I think it's George calls him a daffodil. And listen, if he comes out in the spring and wins the league again, I'll be happy. Bridge?
You just hope for it just clicks for him and he's able to turn it on. He did a lot of running and started getting the ball, coming out for the ball and pushing it across. No bad passes back to the midfielders and so on and so forth. But when that happens, the through ball was supposed to be to him can't be there because it's not him. He's not there. So this is the thing. It's tantalising and teasing. But he doesn't have the skill that Alfredo's got. Alfredo, he's definitely Morelos. I would suggest, technically speaking, he's possibly our best player on the ball. You know, when he's got it close to him, very few people can take the ball off him. He's a very, very clever player and knows what he wants and brings a lot of people into the game. And his number of assists is quite high as well. So it tells you how badly you miss him. And the guys have said it. The number of chances that Lafferty had, it's quite sad that he couldn't put one of them away. Puts one away, then the others can pile up, no problem at all.
For me, it was only really one bad miss he had on Sunday. I mean, it was right in the first minute. He had a couple of misses, but they weren't bad misses. They weren't at the first.
I don't think it's so much about the misses. Ox, yeah, some in I mean, see with Gerrard.
Don't mention misses. I think he's done enough trouble.
The crosses that were put there, a lot of fantastic crosses, and there was nobody there to get on the end of them. And you're expecting Big Lafferty at his height to at least win a few of them. No, the wee flick ones, it was hard lines with him. No, the great save by the goalkeeper. But for me, he never contributed anything apart from he had a couple of goals with the head. I'm it's not the recruitment I'm getting at, you know. But I suppose in a way it is. He should never have been brought to Ibrox. He should never have been brought to it.
It looks like that this now, Jimmy. It looks like that this now. You're right. But things can change so quickly in football.
Of course they can. But it still comes down to Fred. Fred's got to stay on the park. Because if I've not got an ideal replacement for Fred on another game-to-game basis, then Lafferty's not good to us. Simple as that.
Foxy boy. Is there many ideal replacement for Fred out there? Because he's pretty unique, isn't he?
He is pretty. He's playing at the top of his game. Football-wise, probably the best striker in Scotland at this present time. Can't say much more than that, mate, about him. I think he's just came up a gear since last year. Seems to understand his role in the game a lot, in the team a lot better. And players are feeding off him, mate. Candias especially, he's always there to pick his wee flicks, etc. He's good at finding Arfield coming forward as well. And what I like most about him this year, he's no lazy at all, mate. As soon as he lays it off, he makes a beeline into the box, and I think he's playing really well, Ox.
We'll go to Rudy, who came in at a point, but then we'll be joined by Cushy number. Carry on, Rudy.
I was just going to, in defence of Big Kyle Lafferty, I think when he was at Hearts, I could understand why. I know there was some of the support weren't that keen in bringing him back. I think, to come to his defence a wee bit, I think he was playing really well at Hearts, and I could understand why some did want him to come back, but if you think back to his previous spell at Rangers, it's always been a case of he's not really started to play until the second half of the season. And maybe we'll also see that again, maybe this season it'll be the same thing with him. I really hope it is, because I've got a wee bit of sympathy for him. It's just not really worked out for him, and he certainly isn't the same kind of player that Alfredo is. I think if we're expecting him to do the work that Alfredo does, I don't think that's his game. I don't think it ever has been, really,
No, but there should be pluses. I mean, maybe people would think that he would have pluses that Alfredo wouldn't have. Anyway, we'll be joined by Cushy. Evening, Cushy. How we doing, mate?
Evening, guys. How are we?
Hi, Cushy.
All right, mate. All right. What's your looking back quickly? Sunday's game, and then looking forward. What's on your mind, mate?
I think I'm really pleased to see what's happening on the left-hand side of the park with Barisic and Grezda. I think even in the game and a half that Barisic has had, that boy just looks an absolute quality player to me. Some of the crosses he's pinging into the box and some of the things he's doing, I think if he applies himself correctly and gets a little bit more involved in games, I think he'll be a massive star for us going forward. I think Grezda's just is obviously a slightly different player, but I'm not so sure just being put out in the wing suits Grezda quite so much. I think he's more an old-fashioned inside forward player, to be honest. I would like to see him playing a lot closer. Whoever's playing at centre forward, and if it's Morelos, then I'd like to see Grezda playing a lot closer to him rather than being the guy that's kind of feeding Morelos the ammunition for the wing. I would like to see him a lot closer, almost as a front two, and working there, because when you look at Grezda, anytime he gets the ball, and there's only one thing he's looking at doing, and that is getting a shot and scoring goals. And I think it's almost a waste of having him on a wing trying to put crosses in, etc. Because he's got a nose for goal. But I'm really excited about that partnership on the left hand side. We've been looking about, I think, for the last, at least the last 6 months to 12 months, saying that our side was really unbalanced and we had nobody on the left. And now we've got these two boys on the left, and I hope they stay fit, because I think that'll be a real bonus for us going into the second half of the year.
Can I come in on that one, Oxtail?
Of course you can, but
No, it was just 100% agree with Cushy. I've been saying it since after the game on the show, that Barisic to me is going to be an absolute class player. We've got a great left back in our hands, providing he keeps going the way he's going. There's not going to be a better left back, particularly in Scotland for sure, and getting close to being a really good full back that could possibly walk into a Premiership side down there. I'm not saying he could do it right now, but my goodness gracious, he's heading that way. He's poised on the ball. He's no problems, no fear. He's just all the confidence in the world in his own skills. Marvellous. And the partnership he's got with, or he can build up hopefully with the Grezda. Cushy's right, but that's what we've been saying. Can we get the same type of partnership that we had with Tavernier on the right, with Candias, both helping each other, both making sure that there's somebody there covering up for each other? That would be fabulous on the left if we could get that. Absolutely fabulous. Agree with Cushy 100%.
Would it be fair to say at the moment, I'll take this to GFK and then I'll go to Fox with it, that Barisic gone forward, we've not seen his defensive qualities yet?
I'd agree with that, aye. Yep, definitely. But what he showed there on Sunday proved to me that that he is going to be a player for us. It was against Hamilton Accies, so defensively he didn't really need to do anything, did he? He was not the left of the ball there with Grezda, so it'll be tomorrow night. I think we'll see a test of Barisic, how he can defend, and because this will be they'll be up for it tomorrow, the spoon burners. So, I'm really pleased that Barisic is back in the fold again, and and I think he's going to prove to us that the player that we all know that he is, and what the hype was about. And I think he will be a great player. It will come from, and I think tomorrow night will be his test against the Spoonburners, and I think that he'll perform very well, mate. Really pleased with what I saw on Sunday, but defensively he's got to show that tomorrow night.
I'm sorry, Fox, I thought you were coming in.
Oh, me, I think Barisic will end up getting the same sort of slagging for defending as James Taverner. They're both attacking modern fullbacks. There's plenty like them playing at higher reaches of football. If you look at Ashley Young at Man United, who's not exactly a great defender, but he's an attacking fullback now. He's been put there transformed from being a winger into that position. It's a modern way where the fullbacks have to produce the width on the park. And I'm not too worried about Barisic defending me. He gets back and can intercept the ball. And both of them will work hard. I think it's quite exciting having the two of them, one the left, one the right. I think they're great attacking fullbacks.
Yeah.
Cushy and then Rudy, is this a big positive for our team? Because one of the criticism would be that we were lopsided.
Well, I think that's what I touched on just at the last bit. Last year we had Candeias and Tavernier and nothing on the left hand side. Everybody was right footed and everybody was cutting inside, and there's not a person sitting in the that couldn't see it. And it just narrowed the entire game down when we're trying to break down teams that are, and we need the width, So guys just kept on cutting inside and kept on cutting inside, and it was just galling. No doubt the management team could see it as well, and hence that's why Roy Gerrard has brought these guys in, I think that's good. Big Dresden, if memory serves, Gress is actually right-footed. And that's why I think he would be better just an inside forward role rather than as a winger. I don't think his best position for Rangers is as a left winger the way they got in Middleton is, for example. So I think he'd be better inside, a little bit more inside the park, and then when he's got the ball, it doesn't have to be cutting inside because he's already there. But I'll leave them. That Steven Gerrard is far better placed to decide that thing rather than me. So I'll let him decide that. But it's good to see the balance, I think, in the team. Just going back to your point. That's nice to see. We could probably do a little bit more in midfield, I think. I'm trying to think of one person that we've really got in the midfield that's a natural left footer.
None.
Well, thanks. So we could probably do that just a little bit more in moving through the team on the left-hand side. But Barisic at the moment, I think, he's crossing. I think he's crossing quality. He's just got that kind of left-footed player's knack of being able to contact the ball and putting some dip and swerve and swing on it. That it just looks as if right-footed players just can't do it. And he's just got that kind of knack with his left foot and will make it continue. And I think on the defensive side of it, he's a better positional defender than Tavernier. So I don't think we'll have too much fuss at left back with him. I think all of our defenders could be doing with being a little bit more nasty, and that includes James Tavernier and Barisic. We see it time and time again when we come up against teams where when we get past them, they just drop our player or they clip their heels or whatever it is, and we really don't seem to do that as a team so much. And I don't think that would do James Tavernier or Barisic any harm if they're struggling. Just stop the play, drop the guy, and let's defend the free kick, because you can see what you like about Flanagan, but Flanagan has got that part of the game absolutely down pat. If he feels if there's going to be any issue behind him at all, he just makes sure that the play's stopped right in front of him. And I know the boy gets a lot of criticism, but that's one part of his game that I think our entire defence could be doing with picking up on.
Well, for comment, I'll take you to. He's also not just my food correspondent, but he's also my left-footed expert and also fullback expert. Rudy Bear.
I think he's complete class, Barisic, and I think if we can keep him fit, we'll see him get better and better. His left foot is superb. Some of the crosses at the weekend for me is exactly what we've been missing from the left side of the park. And intermittently over the last couple of seasons, we spoke about how unbalanced we were across the park on the left-hand side. You know, Tav and Daniel Candais on the right-hand side to have formed this partnership, you know, that seems to work most times. In the left side of the park, it didn't seem to matter who we played there. It just felt cumbersome and clumsy, and you know, and it wasn't right. We could see it wasn't right, but maybe Steven Gerrard stumbled upon, you know, Grezda and Barisic playing there. But he's not really stumbled upon. I don't think I could say. He's actually brought these guys in. Grezda apparently can play anywhere across the front three in the park, so he can play in the left. He's played in the left for Albania. He's played in the left for a previous club. So, you know, the boy's played in the left. He's formed a partnership before with Barisic. And maybe we'll reap the rewards of that come the second half of this season. I certainly hope so, because I was really impressed with both of them at the weekend. I really was, you know. And if we could have got a couple of guys into that box who could have made more use of some of the crosses, we could have easily have walked away there 3 or 4-0 winners at the weekend.
I'd be interested to see it pans out. I like Cushy's idea of Grezda's making the runs in to become in beside Fred, and Barisic has got open grass in front of him. Sometimes that's the thing that frustrated in the second half, because young Glenn was killing the space when we were coming down that because he's still learning the game. No criticism of young Glenn. JFK, just an observation.
You're right there, mate. I mean, I'm a big fan of Glenn, the same as everybody else now, but you're right what you say there, you know. I mean, but when the ground opens up in front, the pitch opens up in front of Grezda, he does go for the space, and young Glenn's got to learn how to do that himself, and he will eventually, you know. He's still on the learning curve, and he's done a great job for us whenever asked, but, I mean, like the guys there, I mean, Barisic and Grezda playing in that left has made us stable again. But no lopsided. But just what Fox was saying there, I mean that he's 100% right. I mean, you don't call them defenders now. You know, they're attacking full-backs, aren't they? So going forward is the modern day game. But it's good to see, you know, that we've got the stability there, left and right, to try and create something doing both flanks. I'm a fan of wingers and that, but I don't think we play with two wingers as such. I don't think they hug the touch like the byline touch lines as they should, but hey ho, that's the way it is. But I'm really pleased the way that we've got Barisic back, and Grezda. I've said before, I've been saying it here for weeks. He needs a run in the team, and let's hope he doesn't disappoint tomorrow, because the game tomorrow will prove his worth if he's be able to run at these spoon burners tomorrow night. With Barisic behind him, supporting him. So, I think two cracking players who I think will come and gaze the left-sided impotence we need attacking games.
Mm-hmm. Cushy, is tomorrow's game the biggest game of the season?
I think you've said that in the last.
Every game,
it's mental.
And I know, you know, sometimes you come on and you keep saying I've said it before, right? But I have said this before. We need to get away from that and think every single game that we're playing is this kind of death or glory type thing, because other teams will make mistakes, you know, and other teams will get beat. You know, none of these teams in this league at the top of that league are good enough that they can go out, underperform and expect to come away with 3 points. It's just not going to happen. That, you know, the Hibs game the other night with Celtic proved that. You know, so I think I think it's really, really hard, but I think we really need to kind of, you know, try and move away from the fact that every game is life or death a little bit. I know it's going to be almost impossible, you know, and it's because the support see how tight it is at the top, and you know, minor slips can can cause big differences. But it's I think it's one of these things. The players are going to have to get in their head that this is not a life or death situation. I've got to go out and I've got to play my game. I've got to do my job. I've got to win my personal battle. And then if our players do that, then the result will take care of itself, and the points will take care of themselves, and we will be where we want to be in the league. But it's not. We can't. I don't think we can keep coming into these games and saying, right, this is do or die, because it's terrible for my heart when we're looking
for my nerves.
With 10 minutes to go, and we're thinking, everybody's thinking, I can see how this is going to go. They're going to get a last minute goal here, and we're going to drop 2 points and things like that.
The whole Ibrox was thinking that on Sunday.
Exactly, and the players must hear that. The players must hear that. And they must feel it, and it's really hard. But I think we've got to try and, if possible, get away from this every game as life or death.
A wise man said last night, Bridgeman, 10 points out of the next 12 would be really good to set us up for the second half of the season. Is that fair?
Yeah, I don't see anything unfair about it. I think that we've spoke about these things in here. We started off saying we need 15 points, the next 15 points, and so on and so forth. We know how difficult it's going to be. We know how disappointed we were. Even when we won, which is on Sunday, we're still disappointed because we never got more goals. It's really, really tough for us. Hopefully the manager will find, the selection that will help him. Hopefully he'll manage to pull us through and get the players to get their heads up and the confidence up. Because really and truly that's all we're needing. We've got lots of skills in the team. We just need to play with confidence. And nothing breeds confidence better than winning your games. If you're a striker, you score goals. If you're a team, you win games. And if you can win games and score goals, then put the two and two together and you're away, you're flying. Absolutely. But 10 points, a good target, a tremendous target.
Rudy?
I think tomorrow night is a huge game. Absolutely huge for me. We played Hearts, good battling performance. We came away with the 3 points for Tynecastle and we were top in the league. And look what happened the 2 games after that. We dropped 5 points against Aberdeen and Dundee. That can't continue. We found ourselves at the top of the league once again. We need to make sure we pick up the 3 points. It is really important to stay at the top of the league and the run into the end of the season. If we can pick the 10 points up, as you just mentioned there, Ox, running into the game against them, sets us up for the second half of the season brilliantly. I think, if we can just hit a real run of form just now and pick up
points. Do you not think the pressure that we're putting on these guys, saying that every game is a must-win game, is the reason that we're dropping the points in the first place?
Well, if they feel that kind of pressure, Casey, they shouldn't be at Rangers then, in my opinion. That's you can't go out and play for Rangers and think it's okay to drop points against a team like Dundee, sitting bottom of the league, who's down to 10 men. That's just not acceptable.
Who just get beat 5-1 tonight?
Who got pumped 5-1. So if you can't accept that as a Rangers player, that's just not acceptable, then you shouldn't be wearing that blue jersey, in my opinion. Now, I get what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, Cushy, but a game against a team who I consider who's probably going to be one of your rivals for the top, you're talking about the top 4. Hibs will end up in the top 4, in my opinion. Right, so it's imperative that we take as many points off of them as possible. And once again, we've found ourselves at the top of the league because of what happened on Sunday. They've had a bit of form by the looks of things, there were a couple of wins there. And I watched the highlights of the game against them, Hibs, against the Dart side there. And I thought Hibs performed really well, in all honesty. They hunted in packs, they shut Celtic down, they never allowed them space to play. Papers are full of, Celtic didn't play very well. No, because Hibs didn't let them play very well, So we have to go there with the intention that we're a better team than them. We've got better quality players. We're a better footballing team if we play our football. And if we take our chances, we can win that game. And the Rangers players have got to understand that, Kishy, in my opinion.
I think it's valid points on both sides there. And I think if you go with the right attitude, Cushy, games should take care of themselves. I think we maybe get caught flat on a couple of occasions, particularly in the second half against Dundee. But let's try and look forward, no back, and hopefully the management team learns from it. Fred's back, Arfield's back, and McCauley's back. If you go to the Dundee game, that's the spine of your team, nearly.
It is, and I think the management are learning almost every single game that we play. He's learning a little bit more about his players. He's learning who's up for the battle. He's learning who quite isn't up for it. He's learning which players are ready for it. And I think, Middleton, I really like as a player, but I think, Gerrard would much prefer someone else that's a little bit older and a little bit more streetwise in there to start the games. So I think, this is a big learning curve for everybody associated with the club, because it's a support that kind of remember back before Gerrard came. It's a support remember back when we were winning trophies, every single year. But really nobody in the club at the moment, apart from Alan McGregor, remembers that. They don't know what it's like. They don't realise the expectations on them from the support. And I think it's a big learning curve from everybody, for everybody associated with the club at the moment, apart from maybe McGregor and Lafferty, just as I remember him.
Maybe that's a great point, Cushy, because you might not see this on the television, but Bridgeman, I know you were there on Sunday, and McGregor was going nuts to the whole team at times, wasn't he? To try and get him to play with a bit more tempo.
Yeah, absolutely right. But I think as fans, we all know, we all know McGregor's like. He's died in the wool, and he's a goalkeeper, and they're worse than midfielders for moaning. They moan for nothing, So if he's raging, he's not raging for nothing. He's raging for something.
You were moaning at the bistro on Sunday.
No, me. You were, not me. But no, seriously, it's just the boy. You're right when you think about McGregor. You think McGregor would make a fantastic captain. I don't know if he would or not, but because he's shouting all the time, he's raging when something goes wrong. He doesn't like to lose a goal. He doesn't like to have to make great saves. Doesn't want any chances coming in, and that's typical of a goalkeeper, even a really good goalkeeper. He wants them to do things right in front of him. That's your job. Get it done right, and so on and so forth. And I think that no matter how much we think, I must say this, no matter how much we think of other players, I honestly think now, knowing now, and giving our manager a chance of hindsight, I think if he looks back 4 games, where unfortunately for us, maybe the problem that young Ovie Ejaria had, maybe it was if we could have nipped that in the bud, we may have solved a wee problem for us. We may not have lost as many points. And this is only a maybe, because, the boy was obviously out of sorts. He wasn't 100%. He went from being absolutely brilliant on the pitch and getting himself caught up now and again. But my goodness gracious, he kind of fell off a cliff. And the manager still played him. And I think maybe somewhere along there, if the manager had known what the result was going to be, he may have been able to stop that. And we may have been, as a team, maybe been a couple of points better off. But other than that, I think the manager's led as well. He'll continue to lead as well. I just wish I wish, like everybody else, wishes we had some hindsight and look back and see what's happened. Because all the things that's happened with young Ejaria, we need to be able to see that. Because young Kent's there, any young boys that we're going to bring in, all of these things need to be looked at. They need to be watched. If there's a step out of a line, not necessarily out of line in that sense, but if he falls over on somebody, he fails somewhere, we need to know why. You could see it now. You could just see it. Just, honest to God, just shut your eyes and just look back. And the times you moaned and said, Ejaria wasn't good today. Ejaria was rotten. Or look at that. And somebody's saying, oh, he wasn't bad. Oh, wait a minute, he twisted and they ended up losing the ball and giving away, possibly creating a goal, that kind of thing. I just wish our manager had the hindsight and saw that, because we'll need to see that as we go forward, because we could be a fantastic side going forward, a fantastic side.
Yeah, okay, just to let you know, I didn't want to bring up your private issues, so we'll just keep that to ourselves, alright?
I just been told what I said there.
No, we'll just keep that to myself, alright?
We'll speak about that later.
Alright, but
can we get everything out in the open? No
But I believe there's a little blue pill you can get to help you with that issue.
Thank God it's blue and no another colour.
Okay. Falling off the ladder and now getting that. Unbelievable.
That's probably how I fell off the ladder. Dearie me.
Superb.
So, look, I think we are, and Cushy's right, we are very critical of our team. And, I mean, I was looking, when we scored the goal on Sunday, I thought it could be anything. And I think everybody walked away disappointed with a 1-0. But I'll tell you what, I'll take a bridge 1-0 tomorrow night, Cushy.
Oh, absolutely. At the end of the day, it's 3 points. It doesn't matter how you get those 3 points. It could be 1-0, it could be 5-0, it could be 10-0. You know, at the end of the day, I really don't care. You know, because against Livingston, we as one of the first games against Hamilton, it's one of the first games this season that I felt we controlled the game from start to finish. So even though it was only 1-0, I still and we're looking about it for the last 10 minutes, but you know, when you look back on it and with hindsight, they didn't really pose any problems to us. You know, and it's one of the games that we controlled from start to finish. So that's a major. I think that's a major bonus for us. Even though it was only 1-0, that's a bit disappointing. I have to say there was some miraculous saves from there keep it at 1-0, because it could have been easily 2 or 3 within the first 10 or 15 minutes. You know, so. And you've got, I think, you've got to take that. You know, you've got to take that, and there's some context there with it. You know, but I don't care how we pick up these 3 points now. This is all about getting the points in the bag up till the end of this month. And when I was on the show at the start of December, all I wanted was for us to be within touching distance of the top of the league. Come the end of December.
You've seen my 2 front teeth there.
and I think we will be, and I think there's a very good possibility we could be top of the league at the end of December, and that would be a fantastic achievement, because I think in December we have a window of opportunity to strengthen the squad, and in particular areas where we're a little bit lacking at the moment in terms of maybe a number 10 in the midfield, maybe a left-sided midfield player, maybe someone up front to augment Morelos, and we could really kick on, get into February and the rest of the season with a strong squad. It would be really, really hard to beat.
Because you can ask a question.
Fox is going to come in here. Fox?
Okay, Pat.
I'd like to ask the panel a wee question. What area of the park do you think we can win this game through? The wings are through the middle. I think Hibs are also an attacking side. They've also got 2 attacking fullbacks in Stevenson and Whittaker. And they kind of crowd the midfield. Well, I watched a game against the Tims at the weekend where they played a kind of 4-3-1-2. So they've got plenty of bodies in the midfield as well. I think they'll try and close us down, is the way we should be trying to do them. What area of the park do you think is the most important?
JFK, then Rudy.
I think it's going to be midfield. I think our defence is I'm hoping, is solid. I think the midfield will go to win more in there and help. Obviously, I'm thinking Gresner, Morelos and Candace and tomorrow night up front. I'm the same as Fox. I didn't watch the other game, but I watched a good bit of it. They're strong coming down the left and right, and we need to combat that. You know, we know what Whittaker's capable of, no matter what we all think about him now. Canberry is a fast and quick player, getting the ball to him. Stevenson as well, he's not a bad player. I think in the midfield we need to try and battle with them. And what we need to be wary of, they'll probably do to us tomorrow night the same as they done to the puddle drinkers, and they'll come out right away. And we need to be wary of that. We need to combat that right away and make sure that we're up for it. And it's got to be for first whistle, up for it right away. And I think the midfield's got to be strong. I think my defence will cope with what they've got. throwing up tomorrow night. But I think midfield is going to be a big battle. And I'm pleased as well. I said earlier on, we've got Barisic here. I think this is what we'll find out about Barisic's defending qualities, because I think they'll come at us quite hard tomorrow. But I would say midfield, Ox, yeah.
All right, Rudy Bear?
Aye, for me, always midfield. Always, Ox, I've said it repeatedly over and over again. You win and you lose the game in your midfield.
Are you admitting that that's where you play your good football players?
No, if I'd go that far. But I agree with Jimmy totally. Midfield for me. I mean, I watched that game at the weekend, and they played for pace, and they played with pace. They've got some pacey players. Our defence needs to be at it completely. Tav's got a bit of pace. Barisic has got a bit of pace, so they're going to have to be up and down that left and right hand side for the full 90 minutes, in my opinion. But the game has to be won in the midfield. We're going to have to battle with them. We're going to have to shut them down in the midfield, because they've got some good players. I mean, they've seemed to come on to a wee bit of form. We really are. I mean, the wings, the left and right side of the park for us, as far as our players are concerned, will take care of itself. It'll be Candace and Tav in one, it'll be Barisic and Grez on the other side. Right, so that takes care of itself. The midfield for me has got to get a grip of the game by the scruff of the neck. You can't let them play in the midfield because they're pacey. They're pacey and they'll fight for everything. Well, we've got to be the same, in my opinion. We've got to do the same, Ox. And I've said it repeatedly. It's a midfield for me every time.
Rich and Cushy.
Well, I can't disagree with the boys have said up to now. Personally, my own honest opinion is we need the forwards firing. We need them firing. We need to have Morelos on top of his game. We can't have him feeling a bit huffed up and things like that, and we can't get him, or we can't have him being picked on and sort of, the daft way of getting needled and throwing tantrums. We have to be on top of our game all over the pitch, but particularly up front. And if we get ourselves right up front, then when the balls come up and they do something with it, then we've got a great chance against them. As I say, I don't disagree with anything anyone said up to now. I just think it's so important. If we want to beat Hibs, we need to have our forwards playing well, and they must go up there and beat their defence. We have to do it. We have to go and beat their defence, and I think we've got the players to do it. That's what I think.
All right, Cushy?
Also, football's a game of personal battles, and I think if you win your personal battle, and most of the guys in your team win their personal battle, then you'll win the game. I think that is. I totally agree with what the boys are saying in terms of the midfield. If that's particularly true when it comes to the midfield. So the boys in the midfield have got to stand up. They've got to be counted. They've got to win that personal battle, because when they do it in midfield, that's what controls the flow of the game. And if we can do that, we can control the flow of the game. We can start feeding the guys right, the guys left, and Alfredo Morelos, and we can create more chances. And typically, if you create more chances, you'll score more goals. But I think although it's a team game, it's every single individual on that part that's wearing a blue jersey has got to say to himself, I'm not relying on anybody else to do a job for me. I'm not looking to pass the ball to somebody else to take responsibility. I've got to stand up and be counted. I've got to do my bit and more. And because if we have a lot of guys do that, then we can go in and we can win this league. But if we don't have a lot of guys doing it, then that's where we're going to come up short. So they've got the boys in that partner have got to stand up and be counted, and particularly the guys in the midfield, because ultimately those boys will be the difference between us being also lands or being in the hunt for the Premiership at the end of this year.
Do you know the problem with the midfield is, Cushy? See, if you don't win your personal battles, as you say, you fall deeper and deeper back into your own half, and you allow them to come running onto your defence. That's why it's so important for the midfield to get a grip of the game, and as you say, win their personal battles, because if they start running through you, they're running straight at the defence, because if your midfield's non-existent, all you've got is your defence left, and that's why it's so important. They've got to get a grip of the game.
And I think that's where sometimes... sorry for butting in, Ox, but I think that's where sometimes a captain in the middle of the park is invaluable in these situations, because he can stand up, he can be counted, he can show guys that he's winning his personal battle, and everybody else then can take the lead from him. You know, if you're playing in the midfield and you're kind of losing your personal battle against the guy, and you turn around to the guy next to you, and he's not really looking you in the eye because he's kind of losing his personal battle as well. You know, that game's slipping away from you. But if you've got a captain in the middle of the park who's going to stand up, he's going to make a statement, and it might be that captain might not be playing fantastic football. You know, or that person may not be playing fantastic football, but he might put in a hard challenge at one point. You know, he might just rumble the other team up at one point, but it doesn't matter what he does. He just stands up and shows the rest of the team that you know he's the man, and they're going forward, and he's not going to lose this battle. And it's very, very quickly that can travel through the team, and the team can stand up, and you can move on. You can win games quite easily. You've seen it in the telly millions of times. You know, one tackle, and suddenly the crowd is up on their feet. You know, and everybody's really suddenly from one tackle, everybody's really up for the game. Where previously to it, it looked as if the game was slipping away. You know, and I'm not really sure we have that in the midfield at the moment. And I think we could absolutely do with it. You know, get into the last part of the season. To be honest with you,
what would you do?
There's a variety of ways of doing it. It's not just a hard tackle. It could be a fantastic pass. You know, it could be a bit of skill. You know, but just that little bit extra at the moment in the middle of the park, I'm not sure I see where that's coming from.
What would you do for a bad
wasting your time talking? Well, you're wasting your time talking to the two, Bridge and Rudy. Fantastic pass, bit of skill. They never done that in their life.
Oh, that's a shock. You're a shocker, you.
I don't know why we speak to him, Bridge. Do you know that?
Can I just say
I'm
on
only
that,
going
on,
when
on
it says your Wikipedia pages.
Can I just say on these subjects, there's two areas on the pitch, in my opinion, that'll be, providing it goes through and he picks the same team as we're thinking, there's two players on our team that will definitely get targeted, 100% targeted, and that'll be Ryan Jack and Morelos, and we really need these guys to stand up. Don't get too involved, because you know the referees against the Rangers, any foul could be a yellow card. Dead easy.
I'm glad you mentioned Morelos there, mate, because I tell you what I think will happen. I think we will get chances against this Hibs team because they play an open game. And the boys are right about the midfield. Defence does its job, and obviously we've got a good goalkeeper. But Morelos, if he plays tomorrow night, for me, we win. And if you think back to the time we won at Easter Road last season, it was Morelos. I think it was a very difficult goal when we were under the cosh, wasn't it? Got us back in the game. And the next time we won the game, saw it out. Well, we've improved a lot from there, hopefully. Fox, quickly, your views before we go to the tune?
My views is that I think it'll be tough in the midfield with 4 against 3, but I think we can win it on the wings. I think we should be actually, I hope we kind of sit back and let them come at us. I think on the break is our opportunity to win the game because, as I said, their full-backs will commit. And good distribution if we can pick the ball up from McGregor, get it wide to where Candice and Gresda, mate, and let them run, then we could possibly have a 3-on-2 situation against our 2 centre-backs. And that's where I think we could win the game, getting the ball to the wings very quickly. Okay.
All right, let's get yourself in
well
mute, and Fox will give us a tune.
Okay.
This is a wee special request that Old School Blast might play, so here's hoping it's good.
Behold the crimson banners flow yonder Torret Hoary. It tells of days of mighty note and Derry's deathless glory, when her brave sons undaunted stood in battle to defend her. Indignant stemmed oppression's flood and sang at no surrender. Then here's to the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Oh, Derry's walls were firm and strong, well fenced in every quarter, each frowning bastion grim along with culverin and mortar. But Derry had a surer guard that all that art could lend her. Her prentice hearts and gates who barred and sang at no surrender. Then here's here's to the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Again when treason, mad and brand and rebel hordes were swarming, were Derry's sons the foremost found for king and country army. And forth they rushed at honours called from age to boyhood tender, again to man their virgin walls and sang that no surrender. And here's to the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against our foes on the 18th of December. Long may the crimson banner wave a meteor streaming airy, protentious of the free and brave who man the walls of Derry. And Surrey's sons alike defied both traitor or pretender, and ring to heaven their prentice cry, their bid with no surrender. And here's to the boys that fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates we close against their foes on the 18th of December.
Very good, Scott Foxy, very good.
Come out there, Fox, I thought it lasted longer.
Very appropriate tune at this time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, old school.
Look, so we get a hint of what's maybe happening tomorrow night. And you want to go and mute, lads, we'll hear for the gaff of the day, and along with, I think he's joined by Ryan Jack. Is that alright with you, Fox?
Yep, ready to go.
Right. Go and mute, lads, and let's hear for the manager.
One of the few teams you haven't played yet, Hibernian. What's your thoughts ahead of that game?
I think it's going to be a big challenge for us. They're a good team, and they've got good players. We all know that this is the manager's big fixture, Neil Lennon. I'm sure he'll want one over Rangers, so I think it's got all the makings of an exciting game. They're on the back of a big victory against Celtic, so I'm sure the confidence is high and the tails are up. But we're really looking forward to the challenge.
You mentioned Neil Lennon. Do you know him well? Are you looking forward to going up against him again?
Yeah, I know him well. Played against him, competed against him. Bumped into him a few times on holidays and out and about and around. Competitive player, competitive manager. So yeah, really looking forward to going toe to toe on the side. And I think this has got all the makings of being a really good game. They're an attacking team. They like to pile men forward. They play brave football. So yeah, it's an exciting one.
21 goals between the teams in 4 meetings last season. The last game ended 5-5. Do you expect it to be as open this time around?
I watched the game. It's one of them crazy games where you just don't know what's going on, both ends. Both teams trying to win it, going gung-ho. I wouldn't mind scoring 5 again, but I don't really want my team to concede 5. So no, I don't predict it to be as similar as that, but I do predict an attacking game, an exciting game, because there's a lot of good footballers on the pitch, and I think the atmosphere it'll be intense down there. So yeah, it'll be a good one.
Now that you're back top of the league, is it as much about a mentality issue now that you're there again to try and stay there longer?
Yeah, it's always about mentality, whatever position you're at in the league. I think consistency is the key word we're looking for. You know, can we find consistency in our game and try and finish the first half of the season off strong. There's 4 fixtures to go, and we want to try and take as many points as we can, but it's important that we really focus on Hibernian. They're a good team, they deserve respect, and as I say, we're going to be playing against a very confident Hibernian team, so it's very important we defend well tomorrow.
There was a real frustration from you after the Dundee game. You feel you've got the reaction that you've been looking for from the players?
In terms of the results, last time we were top of the league, it wasn't the reaction I wanted. We lost to Aberdeen at home, and then a really disappointing result for us at Dundee. So we've managed to recover from that and regain top spot by beating Hamilton. We won 1-0 and got a clean sheet, but we should have won the game a lot more comfortable than we did. Tomorrow will be a different type of game. I think it'll be a lot more open and a lot more attacking. The last 2 league fixtures we've found playing against a low block, a lot of men behind the ball and people trying to spoil the way we play. I think Hibs will come out a lot more and be a lot more attacking against us, so it's a different kind of challenge tomorrow.
You said on Sunday that you felt the team had a lot to learn in terms of how to take teams apart and blow them away as such. I mean, do you think that's capable of being, learnt in the time you got for the end of the season?
Well, we always debrief games and try and learn from every single scenario. I think a lot of teams that have come and tried to do that against us, like Hamilton, we have blew them away, and we've scored quite heavy, and we've been a lot more clinical, and we've had that killer touch in front of goal. That wasn't there at the weekend. So the big learning thing is, at 1-0, Hamilton still think they've got a chance of getting back in the game, and you could see them growing towards the final stages, and we give them a few stupid free kicks to pile the ball into our box. So you're actually on the side with 4 or 5 minutes to go thinking, how have we managed to make this a tense, nervy finish when the game should have been done and dusted after 20 minutes. So that's the learning one from Hamilton.
Do you think this run of fixtures before Christmas has to be a true test of what your team is capable of this season, perhaps?
People have been saying that since November. We always knew that December was a tough schedule. At the time we were still in Europe, a lot of big games. So yeah, I mean, we've performed well. We probably haven't got the results we've wanted, but the next 4 games is a chance to try and finish the first half of the season strong and try and set the second half up well. And we want to be either on top or as close to the top as we can.
Looking back to that 5 each game, were you watching that day, and was that something that was giving you food for thought about how you wanted to take the team in once you took over in the summer?
I think you could see it really clear just in that one game where Rangers were at the time. Very, very high scorers, capable of scoring against a lot of teams, a lot of attack and flair on the pitch. But had that tendency to concede a lot of goals as well. It happened in a couple of the last Old Firms. It happened against Hibs. So it was quite clear looking in on that day that the team needed help, certainly from a defensive point of view. And that's what we've tried to do.
Stephen, Conor Goldson and Gareth McAuley have started 4 of the last 5 games at centre-half. Do you see that as a more settled centre-back partnership now for you?
Look, we've got four good centre-backs. Nico came in and was excellent from the beginning. And as we expected, a young boy learning his way, he was going to have that little dip in form. I always knew as a manager I was going to have to pull him out at a certain point and protect him, and he'll come back stronger and improve, and he'll come back and help us again. Joe's come in on loan and being really well. He's put in some really good performances in big games, but he's still young as well. You forget Joe's still 20, 21 as well, so there's no better centre-back for them two to learn off than Gareth McAuley, and Gareth took to it like a duck to water, like we expected. He's 38 years of age, but he hasn't got that type of body. He looks after himself really well. He's in excellent shape, and he's come in and grabbed his chance and took it. So we've been very pleased with Gareth, but we've got 4 really good options in that defensive thing, and that's something I don't think Rangers have had for quite a while.
On the Gareth thing, I know you mentioned in your book when Gary McAllister comes to join Liverpool and the influence that he had on you as an older player coming in. Is that a very similar role to the role you see Gareth having at the moment with Nikola Katic and Joe?
Gareth does that naturally. He's a leader, he's got a voice, he's an organiser. I have to manage Gareth different. Gareth's similar age to myself. He's played just as many games as I did. So, Gareth's not one that we're sitting down with every 5-10 minutes and trying to tell him how to play as a centre-back. Naturally he manages himself. He's been really good in terms of experience. I think we are a young team. If you take Gareth out the equation, we are young and inexperienced. So to have his voice and his leadership around the place has been really valuable to us.
Just looking at the Hibs game, just off the pitch, is it maybe a bit of a shame that some Rangers fans won't get to see the game with the ticket allocation the way that it's been done by Hibs?
It is what it is. We just get on with that. Of course, we'd like as many fans in the game as possible because the support we've had, well, certainly since I've come in the door, has been excellent, and we always know the amount of seats that are available. Rangers take them. It's up 12,000 to Vienna last week, which is incredible. But you also have to respect the fact that it's a Hibs game, and a lot of their supporters want to come and watch Rangers as well. So we've got no complaints on that.
And just finally, without going into any names, can you give us any news on any progression on movement in January? Anybody that's anything at all?
Alfredo's back for the weekend suspension.
Yeah, back
for Wednesday. So, any other teams?
No, everyone's fit and available. Rossiter and Katic played 60 minutes in a reserve fixture yesterday. We've got no new injury news, so everyone's available.
How's Jamie Murphy progressing? Have you got any sort of update on when you expect him back? Is it still sort of end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's as planned, but he's working really hard. He's on double sessions. He's 9 to 5 most days, and he's got a really good opportunity now to do everything he needs to do to make sure his body is as strong as possible for when he comes back. But you can see, you can already see it on the eye, the benefits of him doing a lot of gym work around the rehab. So I expect Jamie to come back firing, but he won't be rushed because it's a very serious injury that he's had. Graham Dorrans is progressing well as well. Everything keeps moving in the right direction. Hopefully he'll be back sometime at the end of January, beginning of February, if everything goes well. And they're two players that we need back as soon as possible because they help us at the top end of the pitch in terms of creativity, and they also carry a goal threat as well. So we've missed them too.
Mike Graham's recovery affect what you're doing, Johnny, if he's in terms of looking for some of that creative midfielder, that creative influence?
Not really, no. We just want Graham back as soon as possible to help us. I think you could see signs and glimpses when he nearly came back the last time, but you could see in his head it weren't right, the injury. So I think the sensible thing to do was to get some help off the surgeon, and hopefully that's all behind him now and he can look forward to come back and help us the final push of the season.
Stephen, you seem to have a couple of new faces out of training today, is that correct? Are they guys that you're looking at?
Yeah, a couple of guys from the US who've come over. We're having a look at them this week. Just having a look at them really.
Is it just a sort of trial basis, nothing
yeah,
imminent?
sort of, yeah.
Okay. Can I just ask you your thoughts on Jose Mourinho's departure today? Quite big news. Is that a surprise to you?
Big news, but it's none of my business. Obviously a world-class manager, being a rival for many, many years as I played. But yeah, it's none of my business, to be honest.
You were talking about how wily he was before the game last week.
How what he was?
How wily and how he can get a result in big games before the Liverpool game. It seems to have all happened quickly. Is that just the sort of way it seems to work?
He's a winner, isn't he? I mean, how can I sit here and say anything bad about Jose Mourinho? He's a serial winner. He always has been everywhere he's gone. He's been sacked at United, but he's won them a couple of trophies. He's done the best job since Alex Ferguson's left. Seems like they've sort of struggled before that, but Jose came in and put a couple of trophies in the cabinet, so I don't think you can criticise him too much. But it'll be interesting to see which direction they go in now with the new manager. But none of the Man United fans will care what I say about it, so it's none of my business.
Brian, how much is there a determination amongst the players to hold on to top spot in the league after losing it again so quickly last time round?
Yeah, I think obviously going top of the leagues, it's great. It's great for morale in the team, and shows that we are moving in the right direction. But as the manager said, it's really too early to be talking about staying top of the league and doing this and doing that. It's just about staying focused and taking each game as it comes.
You've got 3 games before you face Celtic, but what would it mean to go into that fixture top of the league?
Yeah, it would be great, there's no doubt, there's no denying that, but it's going to be 3 huge games before we go into that fixture, and I think it's important that we put in as well a performances as we can and make sure the confidence is high going into that one.
What are you expecting at Easter Road tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm expecting a tough game, of course. Hibs are probably not where they would want to be in the league table, but you've seen from the weekend they're on the back of a good winning at Celtic, and I'm sure the confidence will be high. So we're expecting a tough match, but we're well prepared and ready to get a good result.
Ross, starting the last couple of games, looked like you had to play a wee bit further forward. Is that something you've enjoyed?
Yeah, of course. Enjoy wherever I play, to be honest. But wherever you're asked to play, you just want to do the best of the job you can, and whether it's playing deeper or playing further forward, you just get on with it, and I've enjoyed it.
In terms of the league position, how important is it you don't get carried away? I mean, it is still so very early in the season. Yeah,
that's what I said. You don't get carried away. We went top after we played Hearts and got a good result, and then we had a wee dip in form. So as I say, it's probably too early to be discussing that, but it's obviously good for morale, and as long as we stay there, we'll be happy.
Do you feel like the team is making progress over the season when you look at what it's been the last couple of years?
Yeah, definitely. It's the squad we've got together now. It's full of characters, strong mentalities, and good ability. That's the main thing. At the minute, I'm enjoying playing in it, and the rest of the boys are the same. The lads are the same. We're really enjoying our football, so we just want to keep that going.
Do you feel like you are playing, or you're getting close to playing some of your best football at the moment?
Yeah, I think off the back of last season, it was frustrating for myself. Obviously, I had a bad knee injury, and then coming pre-season, it's just about trying to get as fit as I could and getting the manager's thoughts and make sure that I had a future at the club, and I've done that. And now I've started to get a good run of games. I feel like I'm starting to get the best out of myself.
Well, back, lads?
Yep.
Are indeed.
I think some of the big stories will be about the guys that aren't in the squad at the moment, maybe Dorrans and Murphy pushing on, and hopefully Dorrans can be back maybe sooner than we first thought. Rudy Bear.
Aye, see what did they say, end of January maybe, and to begin of February. That would be great, you know. I think we mentioned Graham Dorrans the other night, you know. And he's a good player, is Graham Dorrans. You know, it's such a pity about the injuries that he's had to deal with. We could really be doing with him back in that midfield, you know. He's the kind of creative midfielder that we're really looking for just now. I don't think it'll affect what they're planning in January between Steven Gerrard and Mark Allen. I think they'll still go about their business in January in the transfer window as they would anyway. But aye, Graham Dorrans for me, you know, if we could get him back and fit and ready to go for the second half of the season, I think that would be fantastic for us, because he's definitely a class player, as Graham Dorrans.
Rudy Bear, GFK then Cushy.
Aye, it's great that Graham Dorrans is hopefully going to be playing some part of whatever way he does for the team coming into January, and that was great to hear that news today for the gaffer. And Jamie Murphy obviously will not be there at the start of next season, but they're like two new players to us, especially Graham Dorrans. I rate Graham Dorrans highly. I think he's a cracking player, and I've said that before, that he'll bring something to the team that we're missing at the moment, and it'd be pleasing to see him come in January. It's a pity he wasn't fit the new. I'd love to see him in a team the new, but that is pleasing. Oxshire, the interview, the presser again was class by Stevie G, and he just handles everything that's thrown up, any questions at all, and especially the one about Hibs. They want to come and see the Rangers anyway, so that was good. Everything's positive at the moment. Ryan Jack put his cellar really well, and he's looking forward to tomorrow night's game as we are. So I'd love to see Graham Dorrans make some sort of comeback impact on the team for the start of the once the winter break is finished, mate. But definitely great news. I was pleased to hear that today.
Cushy number. Oh, it's Cushy with us. Go to Bridge.
He's on mute at the moment. He's on mute at the moment.
Oh, sorry guys. I just went from off mute to on mute.
The technical term is doing a bridge.
I don't think we'll see much of these two boys before the end of the season, to be honest. So I don't think they'll play a meaningful part in the run into the league. They've been out for a long time. Particularly Dorrans, who seems to have a recurrence, or at least multiple different injuries. So I don't think we'll see these guys until at least next season. I think, even if they were to go over their injury in a meaningful time, I personally think you need about 6 or 7 games of full games to get yourself match fit again. And given the running we've got to the end of the league, I just don't think that's going to be feasible for the two boys. So I think the best we can hope for is that they get fit, they stay fit, they go into the pre-season, they have a fantastic pre-season, and and they are fit and ready to go for next season. But personally speaking, I've written them off for this season.
All right, we've been joined by a caller who's a year older than the last time we spoke to him. Evening, Big Ulster.
Evening, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. Your good self?
I'm very good, thank you.
There's a cake, mate.
Oh, in my belly.
Not a lot of good to Bridge man in there, is it?
Sorry, Rooney.
No bother, mate. You're welcome.
Don't mention food. Rudy's full up now.
Rudy's a good job. He knows his soggy bottoms, does he, Rudy?
Happy birthday, Ulster.
Thank you. Great birthday
happy
weekend.
birthday, pal.
Started off, I got a present for Friday night from the girls, a brick at Ibrox, so I got that, and then it ended with the teddy bears on top, so I can't ask for any better.
Yeah, mate. Smashing. Lovely girls then. Don't know where to get it. They must be their mother.
I agree.
What's your thoughts, mate? What's on your mind?
I'm just starting to get excited now for the big game tomorrow. Well, excited, stroke nervous. We find ourselves in a position that I didn't think we would be in, especially this early after the two poor results with Aberdeen, Dundee, but obviously them lot across the city have slipped up a wee bit and we've got an opportunity now, and I was expecting maybe a better performance against Hamilton, to be fair, at home. I thought, we'd be coming out of Ibrox skipping after hearing their result, but it wasn't to be. But we got the win, that's the most important thing. We grounded out in the end, we got the 1-0. And I just hope that the team can turn it on tomorrow night and really put a marker down and try and get ourselves winning more games and really, really putting the pressure on.
Aye, good thoughts, mate. I get with but Hamilton's gone now. Tomorrow night's a big game. I think we'll get chances, and if we take our chances, for me, we win the game. Bridgeman.
Of course, I can't disagree with that. I agree with all the things that all the boys have said up to now on it. I think I really, really liked that interview with the manager. Every single issue they brought up, the manager handled it, batted it away. The most annoying thing about most of these interviews, press interviews rather, is that they always want to get Celtic involved. They want to use the Celtic name at these interviews, and the manager just rides over the top of it absolutely brilliantly. And Jimmy picked up on it, and JFK picked up on it, I picked up on it, I'm sure others did too. They can't get enough Hibs fans to see the Rangers. That's all they want to do. They want to see the Rangers. So there's nothing they can do. They can't get any extra seats because the Hibs fans want to see the Rangers. So good luck to them. But seriously, tomorrow night, massive, massive, massive game. And, if we can just do something, at the present moment, what we've got is we've got a lead. It's a fragile lead, but we've got a lead. And we need to hold on to that. And this will be a lesson for the guys, because they never held on to it the last time. Now they need to hold on to it. And this is what it's going to be about. Fight for your life and your position in the league. And if you can't do that, then, my goodness gracious, we'll know. We can't imagine what we're going to do if we can't do that. The boys know what they need, what's needed. They disappointed themselves the last two games after taking the lead. Now they've got to do it. And as Ulster said, massive games going up the way to the end of the season. Every one of them, one bigger than the other. As we go forward, the games get bigger, the mountain gets higher. We need to get in there and do it. We need to do it tomorrow night.
GFK, it's very unusual to have a double header in the league, yeah?
Aye, that's obviously because of
twice in a week, yeah.
Because of the League Cup thing, isn't it?
Aye, that's correct.
So, I'm pleased about that. That'll be good. Home and away. Well, beat the Spoonburners away and then beat them at home on Boxing Day. That should be some game. The two of them will be great games. Look, tomorrow night we need to perform at our very best, and the lesson, as Bridge said, should be for the last time. We were tapped the league, lasted 3 days. It could be the same again if we don't perform them on. A draw is no good. It's a win tomorrow night, a win at all costs. And I think it was Bridge said earlier on that Fred and Ryan Jack will get the biggest treatment for the Spoonburners tomorrow night, so they need to be wary of that. And I keep saying Fred needs to stand up and be counted. Walk away. I know it's hard today, turn the other cheek, but he's playing for the Rangers, and I want to see him playing the next 3 games, especially against the Puddle Drinkers on the 29th, so he can't afford to be messing about and get sent off and booked for any silliness. Go out and perform tomorrow night. Be there for us for Sunday, and then for Wednesday again against the Spoonburners, and then most importantly for against the Puddle Drinkers on the 29th. So, yep, it's going to be a good double header, mate.
Who'd the chuckle there?
No, I'm laughing at
Do you want us to explain that to him?
I know it, but it's just...
I remember you never had any proper understanding when he called Aberdeen something. Oh dear. If the cap fits, you know what I mean? Because if the cap fits them, let them wear
absolutely. I'm not laughing. I'm certainly laughing at JFK. You know, it's funny the way it's
I know. At least you made somebody's night, JFK.
Well, I don't want to say their names because that's what they are, aren't they? Spoon burners and puddle drinkers, you know. So there you go. You know,
Jimmy,
yes.
Padge in the lobby says, well, if Rangers score, they should all do the aeroplane.
Aye. That would be good, aye. Definitely. They should just maybe all pelt them with Lego. That'd be better. Anyway, the puddle drinkers.
You've got some terms for them, Jimmy. I must admit, you've some terms.
Absolutely superb. And they just trip off the tongue as well. He's not thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to call him, and that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that proves that JFK reads the script.
Talking about reading a script, did you see that story about the Spanish press were saying about the...
Was that in that new Spanish paper you got delivered today?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Super Deporte.
What was the main story in that?
It delivered a brutal assessment of the double treble winners after yesterday's draw. They're talking about after the game in the Europa League, and it's saying Valencia have nothing to worry about against Celtic because they are now in Rangers' shadow. Yesterday they were drawn against Valencia in the last 32. It says Steven Gerrard has the upper hand over Brendan Rodgers. Celtic Glasgow does not dominate in Scotland and suffered until the last minute to qualify. They have been overshadowed by its neighbours, the Rangers, on the domestic front. The Catholic clubs have been overshadowed.
That'll do us.
Brilliant.
That's a fantastic translation.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Princess subscribed to get that paper delivered every day.
Every day. With that story in it.
Google translated its best.
Brilliant, isn't it? Just brilliant.
You ought to hear when they translate our show, Rudy, when it comes out as...
Oh, you can just imagine, couldn't you?
Do you think, I'll take this to Fox because he's one of the more experienced guys on the panel, and I'm not being flippant when I say that. Do you think Steven Gerrard's learning there'll be less tinkering with the team?
I think it's a necessity myself. The European games are out the way now. There's no excuse for resting people for me, and I hope tomorrow night the only change for Sunday is Morelos for Lafferty. I think that we've got the basis of a good team there with the rest of it. I like McCrory sitting as defensive midfielder. And I just think Morelos, mate, is going to be the difference between having plenty of chances and not taking them and plenty of chances and taking them. So that's my hope. I think it's going to be a terrific game tomorrow night. I mean, I think it'll be open. I think there'll be goals in it. And I think we'll just get the better of them, mate.
Wrong centre half, buddy. He seems to have went with Macaulay, and Big G's he's known to Ulster, and Goldson, settle centre backs. That's the way to go, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks as if they're the two most experienced players we've got from a defensive perspective, and if it weren't such like the manager said the other night there, if Rangers had got what they should have got, maybe 2 or 3 up by 20 minutes, he would have given a chance. Maybe take Tavernier out and put Flanagan on, give other people do a wee bit shake up and utilise get the minutes for other people. However, it's not happened, and so I think I think he's committed to that defence now. So the one that started the last game against Hamilton should be the team that's out here, and the probabilities, if they're any good, they'll be that carrying us forward to, unless injury, of course, injury or suspension. That'll be it for my defence. Sorry, pal.
Sorry, mate. I was just thought you'd finish that. That's what I said about momentum, Bridge. I mean, I know we only beat Hamilton 1-0, right? But it should be the same team that started on Saturday, obviously, with Fred replacing Lafferty, and go for that momentum. It's a winning team, albeit we only won 1-0, but we still won. We played well enough to score 6 or 7 other goals. So we need to take that momentum into the next game, and I would play the exact same starting 11 tomorrow night. Obviously, we dropping Lafferty out for Fred, and I think we'll see goals tomorrow. I think we've got more than capable. I got a team tomorrow, defending well. We all know the back four that we've got, and I think the midfield is strong, and I do think the up front we've got to be strong, especially if Alfredo performs the way we know he can. So I'm very hopeful tomorrow and confident that we'll get a result. I think there'll be goals in the game. I think there'll be a few goals in the game, and hopefully goals are for us. I'm not saying we're going to run there and tap at them, but I think that that'll be a good attacking open game, especially if they come at us the way they did again with the puddle drinkers. They went for them, the juggler right away. We need to be wary of that. They're a fast team, so we need to be wary of that tomorrow night. But I'm confident that we can get a good result, a win tomorrow. Definitely.
I think
Big Ulster, this settled team. How important are you seeing that?
Vitally important, mate. I think everybody needs a wee bit of normality now. I like, obviously, when Tav and Candias are on form, we've seen them before. They can be really good up on that side together, and I would like to see Barshes and Grezda forming the same sort of partnership. I know they have played with each other before in the last club they were with, and they played some nice stuff, so hopefully they can carry that on. The same as the back four. We need to have normality in our team. We've tinkered and changed too much. Fair enough, we had Europe, so we can maybe let the gaffer off for that one. We can understand why he did tinker at times. But now we're in the league. I don't want to see too many changes. I want to keep normality. And we'll do wee tinkers as we need to. As he said himself, if we had went 3 goals up or 2 goals up, he could have made a few changes to get a few boys on. That's the way we should be doing it. But I want to see a settled 11 going forward.
Rudy then, Cushy.
Just to follow on from what Jimmy and Ulster says, I think after the 14-game European run, I think for me, it's imperative now that we get a settled side. We found a bit of balance with Barisic and Grezda on the left. You know, the more games, more time the two boys get together. They already know each other's game. They played in the same team before. So it shouldn't take them long. You know, the signs of that at the weekend for me. But I think it's imperative now that we get a settled side, you know, and it's like you were talking about natural rotation a few days ago, Ox. That's going to happen through suspension and injuries, you know. The back four picks itself. The goalie, well, it's Griggsy all the time, isn't it? You know, back four picks itself. You need a strong midfield that you have to play them together, and they've got to be able to form partnerships and, you know, and understand how each other's jobs and what each other's going to be doing during the match and stuff like that. And now the European things out the way, it's imperative now that we get that settled side. You know, don't want to see 5 and 4, 5, 6 changes in a game when there's absolutely no need for it. He's got to pick what he thinks is his best starting 11 and use that as the base and go for there from now on. And it's okay bringing 1 or 2 boys off the bench if the needs be, or if you're 3-0 up at half time and you want to get some minutes into somebody, fine. But he's got to pick his starting 11 now, what he reckons is his best starting 11, and use that as the base for the second half of the season.
Foxy boy.
Yes. What are you asking me?
Tinkering. You're going to stop?
Aye, I've already commented on it, mate. I think it's got to stop now. I think we need a settled centre-half pairing, and it appears to be that Goldson and Macaulay look like that. They'll be severely tested tomorrow night, as will Ambrose and the boy Porteous at the back for Hibs. That could be the key part of the game, mate. It's who makes the less mistakes at the back. We know that Ambrose tends to make a few mistakes. The boy Porteous looks quite strong and good in the tackle. I would like to see Alfredo maybe lean on Big Effie, because he's liable to make a mistake, as we've seen him playing before. He's the ball player out the two of them, and I think if Alfredo can turn him, he's liable to pull somebody down the box, and I think it's going to be another battle as how the battle of the centre halves, mate.
That boy Portes, Fox, is that the 19-year-old boy?
Aye.
You know what? I like the look of that boy, by the way. He's a good player, that kid.
Good positional sense in the game that I've seen him in Saturday. Yeah. He was about the one to go for the headers, everything else.
Big Effie's capable of chucking a clanger any day of the week, you know, but that boy Portes certainly looks like a player to me.
The one thing about Ambrose, mate, he's either good or bad, totally bad to me, and the games that I've seen him in, he's been quite composed lately. But there is a mistake in him, so I think if we're going to put any of the two centre-halves under pressure, we should put Effie under pressure.
Yeah.
Cushy, any comment?
Settled team, I think for anyone, I think we'll see a far more settled team. I think Gerrard had almost no option, given the wholesale changes in June, to change stuff about, because ultimately he's got to find out what the players he's got in can actually do. So I think there's been, I can see the reasons it's changed. Some of the changes that he's made at some times I've kind of I've worried a little bit in terms of what he's actually trying to do, but I can see the fact that he needs to do changes throughout the last 6 months to find out what players are going to perform for him and what players aren't. And sometimes it's not just about making changes in the games against the lesser opposition. You've maybe sometimes got to make changes against higher opposition so that you really can see if players can step up. So I think he's had the time now to do that. He's got his squad. I think now we'll see a far more settled squad as he realises who can do a job for him and who can't. He has eulogised Gareth McAuley since the guys walked in the door. So I think there's absolutely no doubt we will see a lot of Gareth McAuley from now until the end of the season, probably far more than we've seen Warren and Katic previously. But I could see certainly at the back a Goldson McAuley duo getting us through to the end of the season as long as McAuley stays fit and fresh. I think the rest of the players in terms of midfield, we have got plenty of midfielders. We've got some areas that we can change it up, but we're not. I wouldn't say we're flush in the midfield area the way we were, and the way I think we hoped at the start of the season that we were, given the fact that some of our players have went off the boil and we've got quite a few injuries, and even at the moment, it trips off the tongue in terms of Kent been injured, Dommy's been injured, Murphy been injured. We have got a few boys now that are out of play, though hopefully Kent will come back soon. But we've also got a few boys that have maybe kind of plateaued a little bit in terms of Koulibaly. Jari is now away. So that area of the park where I think we had a load of players 6 weeks ago, actually, when you look at it, who we've got now, it's actually fairly limited. So I think we need to I think we'll probably bring in a couple of players in that area at January and look to augment Alfredo up front. But yeah, I think we'll see a far more settled team now, unless people are injured or suspended, and hopefully, as some of the boys have been saying, that the message is going to start getting through to some of our big players like Jack and Morelos that they need to stay on the park. I've got a little bit of sympathy for them, because when I seen that tackle the other day that Scott Brown put in, there was no doubt in my mind that if a Rangers player had made that tackle, he'd have walked off the park.
100%.
And we are getting red carded for stuff that is nowhere close to being as dirty as that and as reckless as that. And we're asking our boys to walk a fine line, but they are walking a different line from some of the other teams in this league. And I have to say, I've got a lot of sympathy for them, because when you see the difference in the refereeing standards with that yesterday and some of the other instances that we've had throughout the season, you've got to look at the boys and think, they can barely put a foot wrong before they get a yellow card and a red card. Morelos the other day lashing out at that boy with his right hand, that was just stupid. But by and large, I've got a lot of sympathy for our players at the moment, because they are as far as I'm concerned, they're getting refereed to a different standard.
Yeah, 100% agree. I was just about to say that to you, Cushy. That's the difficulty in this country. We're getting refereed to a different standard. The free kick, it was against their captain on what he did on Ryan Jack when he was down on the edge of the box. If a Rangers player had done that, it'd have been a red card. 100%, that'd have been a red card. He grabbed him round the neck and pulled him down, and that's assault in anybody's language. We Rangers, if I had been a Rangers player, it would have been a red card.
Here's a wee start for you, Bridge. Rangers on average take a yellow card for every 6 tackles, 6 fouls. Sorry, you're
probably right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the numbers.
Every 12 fouls.
Yeah,
12 fouls.
It's just nonsense.
They're
so quick.
Disgraceful.
They're so quick to pick out the Rangers players and get the card out of their pocket. Nobody knows why. Maybe the Rangers board, from the sort of chief executive or the general manager, should be speaking to the general manager at the SFA and the general manager of the referees.
We've already got that case to Bridge, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot.
Oh, you just want an explanation why? If those figures are true that Rudy said, why is that?
I think there's always just to kind of butt in there. I think there's a case. We always ask them referees at the end of the game, well, why did you send that guy off? Why did you do this? But in the instance that I talked about earlier on with Scott Brown, I think there should be a case where the referee and supervisors are looking at it and thinking, well, what was going through your head there? Why didn't you send him off? What makes you think that is a tackle that does not warrant a red card? I would love to hear that explanation from a referee, because it was a absolutely shocking tackle. You know,
Lennon were gone nuts about it, Rudy. Yeah?
Well, I can imagine. But no, Cushy's right. You know, I mean, you'd like to know why. What's the explanation? I mean, any day of the week that was a red card. You know, I mean, I heard Michael Stewart on Sports Scene, the garbage he was talking. You know, oh no, it was a yellow. It was never a red. It was a red every day of the week. And as Cushy says, I would like to hear the referee's explanation of why he never gave Brown a red card.
You know what's happening here, guys?
Cushy mentioned the fact that 2 were shot in midfield, and it was also the day came out that we've got the 2 American blokes in for.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah,
is that the Steven Gerrard effect, MLS, Bridgeman?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, I obviously I don't know the chaps. I don't know anything about them, but when you read the wee bits that it's been given, they're looking quite good. One of the boys is supposed to be a really good player. I think the midfield boy is a really good player. The other boy is a defender. Is he a defender? A left back or something like that? So the one boy who's a midfield, and I believe he's a very good player, he's the one that's a bit older, mid-20s or something like that. So I think one of them will get picked up, if not both. So I think that's a boy that Gerrard knows. Interesting, very interesting.
Big Ulster, have we seen the Steven Gerrard effect?
Maybe so, mate. He did have a wee spell out there, so maybe he's made a few contacts, and hopefully they impress. It'd be good to see. We've had good Americans play for us in the past. They've done really well for us. There are 4 or 5, I think, have played with us and done pretty good. So, yeah, I'd like to see it. And then, obviously, if they do well for themselves over here in the UK, then that's maybe an avenue to get more of these players wanting to use that stream to get themselves in the United Kingdom and play their football. So could be good for us. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, guys. I don't see how this is a positive when we're trying to talk up all our young boys in the academy. You know what I mean? I watched a bit of the boy. He actually plays more college football than he does anything else, and that's probably, I would say, just above, if just about the same as your junior football here. One's a 25-year-old who can play right back or in the midfield. He's with Chicago Fire. Look, American football's poor. You know, we've not got any players like Claudio Arena anymore. American football is a very, very poor standard of football. The boy Gutman plays for Indiana University, guys. Come on. We must have better players than that. For me, I don't know what the idea is here. I'm not going to diss the gaffer, obviously, but I don't know what he's thinking is. For me, it's a no-no. We're on this station here every night and we're bumming up boys like Andrew Dallas. We're talking about bringing Ryan Hardy back. We're talking about bringing Greg Docherty back. And we're bringing two guys from America who nobody's ever heard of. For me, it's a no-no, guys. Honestly, I just think it's a waste of time.
I disagree with you, Jimmy. The American football is getting a lot stronger than it used to be. They've got a boy they know who, I think his name's Rodriguez, who's getting touted about in European football for £30 million, mate.
Can I interrupt here a minute? That's a different type of player. These guys aren't they that £30 million players?
No, I know these two in particular, Jimmy, but you've got to dip your toe in the market to get the interest. I think it's a good way to go. I personally do. It's one market where you can pick up cheap players that's never been used really before for picking up college players, etc. And one thing about Americans, mate, they take their sport seriously and they really take it as a job, mate, as we've seen with people like Davy Weir, who's been through their system there. We've seen it with Balkan.
I can understand that, but for me,
Claude Arania, you know.
My thinking is that we're on here all the time and we're all talking about bringing through our own young players. So how is that going to work, folks, when we're bringing young players from America? That means then, do these guys become a bit higher up the ladder than them? So do we leave Greg Docherty where he is? Do we leave the boy Dallas playing for the development team? They'll never develop unless they get a chance. For me, I watched it today. I watched the boy score a goal a day, and it was a college game. And I know what Claudio Arena can do because I watched him hundreds of times, But for me, I don't see the sense in it. But do you know something? I might be proved wrong, folks. And I can understand. I know who the guy Rodriguez you're talking about. But for me, I just don't know why he's going down that road. Because I don't think they're any better than what we've got in our youth system.
Is that the call the gaffer and the staff have got to say whether they're good value for money, whether they're better than what we've got? There are always going to be people at Tyler Ibrox Cushier.
I think the club is not so flush with cash anymore that we can go out and buy the best players in the world. So I think we've got to open every single avenue we can to bring in talent. If we can bring in 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 or almost any ratio, pick 1 in 15 of guys that we trial that turn out to be gems for us, then we'll probably want to watch them. I've not really watched anything. That being said, what I would say is that if they are much of a muchness from the guys that are coming through our youth academy, then we play our youth academy every single time. But I don't think there is any harm in us trialling these boys and see what they're like. As I say, we have to, we have to try every avenue we possibly can to try and bring guys into the team and guys into the squad that can do a job for us. And I'm not as long as it's not keeping our guys coming through the system out of a first team position because simply because they're coming from America, for example, then so much the better. I would say though, just to put a slight different slant on it, if there's trials comes in from the USA, our boys in the academy have got to step up. They have got to realise that there is huge competition for places in the Rangers first team. It's not just about signing your S forms or signing your pro youth forms and coming through the ranks and hoping one day you'll get a chance and you think you've won a watch because you can suddenly buy a nice car but you've not actually went into the first team yet. That's not what it's about. Our boys have got to realise that there is huge competition for places in the Rangers first team and they have got to step up and they've got to grasp that with both hands. But I would always give our youth development the priority over anybody else.
But we've got youth development in America, mate. We spent a few quid setting up training schools and all that here the last couple of summers. So we're already in there. And
if those boys are a product of that, fantastic. That's exactly why we've done it. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying if those boys have came for the investment that we've made in America then as far as I'm concerned, that's a win-win. We have, the boys in America are doing their job. They're coming here, they're trialling here, and let's see what they can do. But what my point is that if we are kind of trialling guys on a kind of wing and a prayer basis, and seeing what they're like, at the expense of guys who have come through the Scottish Youth Development team, then we shouldn't be doing that, obviously.
Well, I think you'll find that whomever it is that's doing the scouting for us, particularly in the American area, will have targeted these guys and asked them to come over, and they've maybe given Mr. Gerrard the green light on this to say, get these guys over, they're quite good, you might like them. And that's what I think.
That's Stevie G decision. Do you?
No. I'm saying he's saying to Stevie G, these guys are quite good. You might like them. So the chances are they get here and they spend a fortnight, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before then go away back home at Christmas, and it gives the manager a chance to look at them. If it's no Stevie G, it'll be someone else. But someone in authority will be able to look at them and say they might do a job for Rangers. I don't think it's a case of they're there on trial and they're going to play for us next week, unless they're really, really good, So the chances are that they're just going to be there, and I'll give them a chance. Maybe they'll shine back in American football next season, and they'll come back again.
Big Ulster.
Yeah, I can't see what we've got to lose here. Why not bring them over? Obviously there's been scouting done on them somewhere. People think they're at a decent enough standard that hopefully they can come in and impress the manager. If they don't, then fair enough, they go back. Maybe it's an avenue for other young players, but if you're trialing 2 or 3 every season and it's not costing that much, obviously, to bring them over and send them back again, and if you get 1 or 2 of them, they're good enough to stay with us and do a job for us. I can't see the problem in it. America's a massive market, and that's what all the clubs are doing. All the big clubs are doing now. They're going further afield and sort of setting their bases and their markers around, and that's what we need to do as well, because we just have, as Cushy said, we just don't have the multi-millions anymore to go and buy the finished product. So we need our toe dipped in as many waters as we can.
Rudy Bear, numbers game?
Well, the days of bringing in the Loudrops and the Gascoignes are gone. They're not coming back any time soon. There's gems everywhere to be found. Teams are always finding gems. And it's down to your scouting network. And I would imagine somebody spotted these 2 boys and thought they possibly could do a job for Rangers, Won't cost much to bring the boys over. Have a wee look at them for 2 or 3 seasons. But it's because she says, if they're no any better than what we have already, in the development squad, then you say to them, no thanks, son, but wish you best of luck for the future, and send them back again. But there's no harm in it, as Ulster says, bringing them over and having a wee look at them. We've had Americans in the past come and play for the team. We've all saw them, and some of them have done really good work for us, done us proud, so if we get 1 or 2, if you bring a couple out a season and you have a wee look at them, the scouting network for Rangers apparently is they're doing a fairly good job in America, and they're financing it as well, Rangers. So if they bring a couple out a season, and occasionally you get 1 really good player out it, then it's obviously worth doing, because you're not going to be paying millions. The days are gone now. So I would, as Cushy says, every avenue you've got to look. I think you've got to look down every avenue.
Just quickly, we're not the only ones in Scotland doing this with Americans. Them lot across the city are doing. They've been travelling as well from America, young players. So we can't be sitting on our hands on this one. We need to be getting ourselves in these same markets.
Definitely, yeah, I agree.
I know what you're saying there, Ulster, and that, but I mean, the guy Polster has only played 3 games, mate, since a knee injury in March. So I mean.
But if he's no good, Jimmy, right? If he comes and he's not the article, then okay, you send him back. And then maybe I
know what you're saying. I know what the guys are saying, and that they've got to look at every avenue. But for me, it doesn't. And I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see any sense.
But Jimmy, would you take a Claudio Reyna again in the team with him?
That's a different
era,
though,
mate. Jimmy just wants the right size step ladder to the first
team.
It's
a different era. What I'm saying is, I mean, we've got players that we can bring back to Ibrox who are out on loan, and I just don't see the point a guy who's been out with a knee injury he got in March. We're now at Christmas time and he's played 3 games.
But it costs you nothing, Jimmy, to have
I know that. I still can't get my head round.
Well, gentlemen, you still need to take that debate to another evening. And last man to the bridge.
Oh, can I just say, what a great discussion. What a brilliant ending to the discussion as well. Jimmy's going mad about these Americans coming over to take our jobs and things like that. Marvellous, really great thoughts. I'm really pleased that the club are actually bringing people in to have a look at them. But honestly, great night tonight, guys. Well done, every single one is well done. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is big game tomorrow night. Need to go and beat the High Bs. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us.
Well, sorry about that. I was doing a bridge. Can I thank everybody for taking time to join the show this night? The good self bridge, Cushy Fox, Huffy GFK, Woody Bear, Big Ulster, and of course All School in the background doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:45. Is that right? Yeah, it's 7:45 kick off tomorrow night. 6:45 with a pre-match show talking about tomorrow night's game. Thanks for everybody for listening. Thanks to all the lads for the panel for a healthy debate. See you tomorrow night. Take it away, Fox.